Okay, normally you see our next guest in the kitchen whipping up delicious and healthy meals. But our friend Danielle Formaro is not only a cookbook author, she's also a fitness professional, and she's joining us today to talk about getting rid of your mommy tummy. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Alana. So great to see you today.
Yeah, great to see you too. Happy New Year.
You too, you too. Yes, today I am so excited to talk about what we are about to talk about because so many women are struggling with what we call mommy tummy. And you know, one of the things is when we give birth, right, is our abdominals stretch. And after we, have the baby, we're kind of wondering why we still look pregnant. We're like, why is my belly so big? It's 6 months later. I'm doing crunches. I'm eating well. And no matter what I do, I have baby bulge. So here's the thing. There's a condition I train a lot of moms in. It's called Diastasis Recti. This is when the abdominal muscles stretch apart after birth, and sometimes they don't go back together. In fact, I have 2 children, and I've suffered twice with this condition. So, Alana, have you ever heard of this condition before?
No, Danielle, you're actually kind of blowing my mind because I'm not. And I had babies, I had twins, and this is a legitimate postpartum body condition. I'm surprised that I don't know more about it, and people in general don't.
They don't, and I didn't know about it either until I went to my OB, and she lied me down. There is a way to check for it. You basically lie yourself down, you lift your head up straight with your knees bent, and you put your 2 fingers, you keep going all the way down till you see if you feel a space in between your abdominal muscles. And you'll know if you've got a 2-finger gap or more when you kind of put it right here. And when I say 2 fingers, I'm like right here, putting it right here. As you work your way down, maybe if we have time, we'll show you. You can feel this gap. But here's the thing that's really important. What women and some men that maybe are overweight can get it too is regular crunches. Like crunches, planks, regular abdominal muscles that activate the rectus abdominis, which is just those muscles, your six-pack muscles, those will make the condition worse. So today, what I'd love to tell you is how to bring the transverse abdominals, which is what you need to train, back together. So you've got your rectus abdominis, you got your six-pack muscles right here. Behind that is a muscle called the transverse. Those are the muscles you need to strengthen again to bring the muscles back together. If you do crunches or planks or traditional bicycles, these will actually push the rectus abdominis out, making the stretch and opening wider. So we need to work the muscle behind the rectus abdominis called the transverse to bring them back together. So we could actually be making it worse by doing crunches. Can you imagine?
I mean, I can't, because that's the first thing you think of when you think of strengthening your abdominal muscles or developing a six-pack is doing a plank or doing crunches. So this kind of throws that out the window. I'd love to get started. Can you demonstrate a few things that we should do
Absolutely.
to cure this situation or help this situation?
Yeah, and you know what? You're going to laugh because it's so much easier than you think. And so what we do is something called a vacuum. Okay, a vacuum is when you take it's almost like picture your belly button and you're pulling in. So I'm going to show you from the side. If I was to release and pull in and hold it, you're basically holding, releasing, holding. You see that? It's almost like if I was to take a string and hold my belly button back and you release it just about an inch and pull back. These are called vacuums. This is what strengthens the transverse. If you do this for about 5 minutes a day, release, hold, release, hold, release. This is actually strengthening that small transverse. And this is all it takes, guys. But you've got to do it about maybe 3 times a day for 5 minutes a day or so. I have programs that actually teach women all the different moves. We've a few other moves. Do we have time for a couple more, Alana?
Oh, yes, let's do it. You know, what I like about the move that you just showed me is that you can really do it anywhere. You know, you just kind of knit your ribs in a little bit, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Like I started doing my makeup. I'm like putting on a mascara and I'm like seriously doing it. Or
right.
I'm talking on the phone. You can just sit there and hold it. It's almost like when you suck your tummy in and you kind of hold it. It's that same feeling. So you just picture that belly button going back. But those are called vacuums. I'm going to show you something else.
Great.
So the thing that's funny about these moves is that I'm going to just lower my camera a little. The thing that's funny about these moves is they're so gentle. You can do them right after childbirth. This isn't like anything intense, super low impact. So if I was to lie down and keep my knees up, okay, if I was to put my lower back tightly on the ground, open one knee slightly, you see I just open one knee. Now I'm not making sure that this other hip right here is not going to lift. Then I pull it in. Now I'm going to open the other leg, but make sure, again, the back, lower back is flat, hips don't move. You'll feel the muscles working. It's very gentle, but this move right here is actually, this is what I call just a simple hip opener. This is, again, working a transverse. Another favorite of mine is a heel slide. So what a heel slide is, again, you're going to engage the abdominal muscles, pull in the pelvic floor, too. One thing we didn't talk about is the pelvic floor. You know, after kids, we sneeze and we go, oops, something just came out. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Always engage your pelvic floor. We've also known it as Kegels, but that's going to help strengthen the pelvic floor, too, which is really important after childbirth. So we hold in that pelvic floor. We put one heel down, like this, lower back flat on the ground. We pull the heel up, and you feel the abdominals working. So these are called heel slides. So that's another excellent move, okay, heel slide. And you can just simply do, 10 on each side, take a break, 10 on the other side, take a break, again, for 5 minutes a day. Another move that's really nice is a modified plank. So working the oblique muscles actually really helps as well, because the transverse is right here. If you can see where I'm putting it, it's right here underneath that six-pack muscle. So oblique exercises are also fantastic for getting rid of that mommy tummy. So again, these are super gentle moves, and I can't tell you how many moms I've worked with to bring this core back together. Believe me, that little pooch that everybody sees, like, why do I feel pregnant? Get yourself checked for diastasis. You can go to your doctor, or you can simply, I'll show you really quick if we have time. You just lie yourself down, knees bent, lift your head up, and just go down with your fingers all the way down to in between your abdominal muscles, and see if your fingers go, how deep your fingers go. If there's a two finger gap, you can measure it yourself, and you can actually see if you've got the condition. It'll be really obvious, because you'll feel your abdominals are really spread apart when doing that.
Well, Danielle Formaro, this has been really important information. I'm so glad you joined me today. I know what I'm going to be doing for the next month or two. Now, we get to see you later on the show with Patrick talking about healthy substitutions. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again in just a bit.
See you guys soon.
Okay, bye.